Hi and welcome to the Neil Ashton podcast. In each episode, we explain some of the fascinating ways that science and engineering are changing the world around us. We talk to leading engineers from elite level sports like cycling and Formula One, to some of the world's top academics to understand how fluid dynamics, machine learning, supercomputing are bringing in a new era of discovery. We also hear some of their life stories, their career advice, and lessons they've learned on the way that I hope will be helpful to you too. So sit back and enjoy this episode. Hi and welcome back to the Neil Ashton podcast. I'm mainly here to say sorry that I haven't put out an episode in quite some time. I've been a bit busy, to be completely honest, and that's because I actually changed jobs. I left Amazon Web Services, AWS, after being there nearly 5 years, and I joined NVIDIA about 6 weeks ago. And I've been pretty busy. It's been a super exciting though. Past sort of 6 weeks, probably anybody who changes jobs will say it's a stressful time, but I actually found it a really good time. Maybe I'll just briefly say what I'm doing, just I guess if people are interested. So I've joined NVIDIA as a Distinguished CAE, so computer aided engineering architect, which and joined on the sort of product engineering side of the business, so the side of the company that designs the GPUs and CPUs, and also looks after the sort of software side of things, so the CAE platform. And so that's the team that I'm joining, but I'll have a reasonably broad remit of trying to help the product teams, the marketing, the sales, and be, I guess, the subject matter expert or domain specialist for CAE, which is super exciting because NVIDIA's doing a lot in many different areas, and it's a chance for me, hopefully, to contribute to them, the things that I've learned over my career and some of the projects that I'm engaged with, and help them to deliver things. But also the other way around, it's really great for me to expand my knowledge, particularly obviously as GPUs are becoming more and more frequently used, and also on the software stack. So I kind of like to challenge myself, and certainly getting more into the computer science side of things, I guess, is particularly appealing to me. But also, it's no secret that I've been doing a lot of work in the AI side, and for obvious reasons, NVIDIA's pretty good at the AI stuff and is used by many people for the AI side of things. So it's been great to expand myself there. I was lucky enough to go out to the headquarters in Santa Clara a couple of weeks ago. So it's kind of funny, actually, to go back to the Bay Area. The Bay Area, by the way, being the Bay to the south of San Francisco. I guess all of it's technically the Bay Area. But whenever I say the Bay Area, it's Silicon Valley. Although I sort of feel a bit weird saying Silicon Valley. It sounds a bit odd to say it. But they're based there. And it's great to go back, actually, because I was there 10 years ago, living there for a short time when I was at NASA Ames. And I remember that was for a British person going out to California and going to Silicon Valley. I saw all these, tech companies, and I often did wonder, would I ever join a company like that? At that time, it didn't seem like my path would ever lead me there. So it's funny to be back 10 years and now be working for one of the big companies in that area, and be going there, I guess, more towards the middle of my career. It was kind of a funny feeling going, driving around that area and walking around. And of course, it's nice to get a bit of sun in January because it's been very gloomy in the UK. So I went over there, and everyone's been great. It's a fantastic company, lots of super talented people, and a really nice culture. This is not a sales for them. This is just my honest opinion. It's genuinely, it's been great. Met loads of nice people, engaged in customer meetings and things like that. So that's why I've been a bit preoccupied. And there's quite a big event coming up. It's called GTC, so it's NVIDIA's main conference. I guess a bit like AWS has reInvent and Microsoft has Ignition or something. I can't remember what it's called. Every company, Siemens has Siemens Realize Live, Ansys has something else. So this is the NVIDIA thing, and it's in March, and so it's always a bit crazy leading up to it. I'm actually going to be going out there again for that. So if anybody listens to this or watches this and is going to be at GTC, then please come and say hello. It'd be great to speak to people. But yeah, that's why I've been a bit busy. But the good news is I will be continuing the podcast, and I have already some really interesting guests lined up to finish off this season. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break then to sort of get re-energized and get some stuff recorded and prepared for the third season, and to make sure that I don't have this embarrassing gap of time when I basically was just a bit manic to go and record and interview people. So I just, had to take a bit of a break. But I thought I should come on here and at least tell you that I'm sorry for not putting any new episodes, and at least you know that I'm, still around and still working. I'm still, going to be as engaged with all the community projects that I've been really proud of doing, like the auto CFDs, like the high lift workshops, like some of the AI data set stuff. These are all activities that I will be continuing at NVIDIA, and have even more of a remit to, go out there and hopefully do some really good things for the community, but also very keen to hear what people think are the next topics and engage and try and look what's around the corner. That always interests me. That's obviously why I've done so many episodes around the AI side. There'll be some more stuff around the quantum side of things as well that I'll be talking to some guests on. And really the rest is down to you. I'd love to actually hear what episodes and what topics and what sort of things you would like to hear. Let me know either on LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever mechanism you want. Tell me what sort of stuff interests you, what you've liked, what you didn't like, and I'll try to make these episodes as interesting as possible. But for now, please be patient, and thank you if you are listening to this and you haven't completely stopped listening to these podcasts. There is quite a few episodes maybe to go back and listen to. I mean, as probably anybody who's watched or listened to this will know, most of them are in the 1 hour to 2 hour mark. So if you're waiting for new episodes to come, I'd encourage you to go in the back catalogue and maybe try and listen more of those episodes if you didn't get to listen to the whole thing, because I left them long form so you could really get the full story, but I appreciate that they're sometimes a bit difficult to listen to all in one go. So maybe this is a good opportunity to do it. And like I said, listen out, there will be some more episodes coming soon. But in the meantime, thanks for listening to this and following this podcast. I really do appreciate the fact that you're doing it, and any, the nice feedback I've had from people. Sorry for not being so good at putting them out, but there will be more in the future. So with that, hope you had a good start to the year, and speak to you all soon.